Hey everybody, welcome back to Stratego Freaks for another educational video. Today we're going to be talking about taking advantage of known bombs. If you can discover your opponent's bomb structure or have a good read on them, it allows you to navigate through those bombs and start attacking pieces, and maybe even just discover where the flag is. So today's match kind of exemplifies that pretty good, and let me showcase it for you. So let's go. So right out of the gate, I scout a high bomb. Now, I'm not saying don't put high bombs in the front row there. These are all tactics that you need to vary, but you do put yourself in a predicament from time to time if your bombs do get discovered. So on the very first move, I find this bomb over here on the B file. Pretty nice way to start the game. I only lost a scout, and I have good information. So let's keep going. So I want to see what's on the other side. Sometimes lower level players will just bomb off multiple sides, which that I do not recommend. But still, it's a viable strategy from time to time and depending on who you're playing. So nothing is etched in stone here, but pay attention to the details. So here we go. I'm going to bring over this captain and just park it there. And I might later in the game decide to bring up a miner and just leave it here. And if I need to break through based off of whatever circumstance, I do that sometime. So I'm kind of playing the safe game. And we discover that sergeant. And I'm going to take that sergeant. Start to collect some material here, You want to collect material whenever you can. Now this piece is coming down hot. And I was like, what is that? So of course, it's the Marshal. Now, this gentleman didn't hesitate to take. He didn't care if my spy was there. He's just coming in hot and trying to get up in some material, which he did. So, good job. You're a madman. He did it. So, I need to start thinking about taking advantage of this known Marshal. Now, my gen is over here on the other side. I can probably utilize that pretty easily. I have to vacate a couple pieces to get it up the board, but I have good knowledge. I know this bomb, and I know his Marshal, and he really knows nothing. So let's keep going. So I kind of trap myself there, and, that's okay. I see this piece coming down. It's most likely, at this point, it could be the general or it could be a colonel. Not sure. Now I find that captain, and I happen to be down a captain. Let's take a look at the boneyard. Actually, yeah, so I am down a captain. I'd love to get this back. So I'm already targeting it. I vacated one of the pieces I have here to get my general out. And let's keep going. And before he's going to take it, and it's a scout. So he wanted to see what that was. I felt like that was kind of a potential waste of a scout for him, but he made the call. He wanted to see what it is, and now he's bringing up something to attack. So that's on my radar as a colonel, general. Maybe he just wants to exchange. It's hard to say. So I decide to hit, and I'm just going to assume that this piece behind the Marshal here is a colonel. So I find another bomb. Now I'm down a major, which, is kind of major. But still, I'm getting some information here, and that's okay. So now this is coming across, and he's retracting that piece that was going after my major, so I'm still eyeing that as a colonel. Now I'm going to take, and I need to get some material back because I am down, and I finally get that captain back, and he's going to insta-hit, and we're going to exchange generals. That kind of sucks because I didn't do the damage I wanted to, and it's hard to take advantage of a known Marshal here when your gen is off the board, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to kind of move around and see what's going on here. So he's bringing back and shuffling around. Now, I'm looking at these two. This front piece could be a colonel or just a piece waiting to discover whatever is coming down, a nice finding piece. And he doesn't know if this is my Marshal or not. And I'm keeping my Marshal kind of quiet for the moment. So that's weird. He does a quick scout across. Now I grab up another sergeant, and I'm trying to collect more pieces, and we're going to exchange again. All right, so, all things considered, I'm doing okay, but I am down that major. So let's keep going. He doesn't know where my Marshal is. And now, look at that. It's the colonel. So It's kind of posted up here, and I'm thinking what's behind this kernel is probably the spy. A lot of guys tell you what their pieces are, especially newer players. They'll make it kind of obvious of what's happening. Now, good players, that could just be a bluff, and they're waiting for you to, either call it. It's hard to say. It might be, and it might not be. I'm not etched in stone with it, but judging by his ranking, I feel like he's telling me that this piece over here on the I file is the spy. If you look at my cursor, I do think that is the spy. I can't do anything. I'm not going to take. I'm just going to leave my major over here and see what he does. So I want to block that. I want my marshal to be undiscovered, and I don't want him to know anything. So he's gonna scout, and I'll gladly suck up the scout there. And now my spy is in a pretty awkward place for him because my gen spawned from this location over here. And that makes things a little tricky. He might be looking at my miner here as a possible spy. It could be my lieutenant, and it most likely would be on this side of the board. If he remembered where my gen spawned from, that could be on his radar of where my spy is. Let's keep going. So I'm just going to play some. Now he's coming in, and I want to see what he does. So I push up. I thought he might just hit to call a bluff there, and I was waiting for it. But he didn't do it, and we're going to exchange there. And now I'm going to bring this up because my plan is thinking I know where the spy is, which is behind his kernel here. I want to get my marshal up and into the setup. I know 2 bombs already, and I'm already thinking he might be a little vulnerable. So he pushes on there, and he didn't buy it. I thought he might think that's the spy. So he takes again, and I lose a lieutenant. But now I can get my marshal up. So I'm okay with that. I'm willing to give that up to put this in a really solid position here. So this is a 2 squared piece. He moved it, and I'm immediately going to target it. Now he hits, which is awesome because now I get that major back, and now I can take this piece because I don't believe his spy is on this side of the board, right? So he's moving pieces, and bang, I use this sergeant and discover another bomb. Now, when I'm playing a game of Stratego, from the opening moves and when things start to get discovered, I immediately start to think of where the flag is, where significant pieces might be, and where the rest of the bombs are. Now, it's unlikely that these 4 pieces, now this is just my thought, I'm thinking, follow my cursor here, A and B are these 2 bombs. In the center we have another one, and I'm thinking this guy might have something symmetrical going on. And I was thinking over here on the I file that this front row piece is another bomb, which would mean, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and meaning the flag could be in the corner with 5 and 6. That was my thought process, and it might be a little early to say that, but I decided to start really identifying the bones of this setup and committing to my read. When you commit to a read and you're correct, you can beat anybody. Even if you're a new player and you just have a good feeling about where things are, you can dissect someone's setup. So let's keep going and see if I'm correct here. So I'm going to hit because I just didn't feel like there'd be another bomb over here. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm really putting the pressure. Now I'm getting a captain back. I'm up a couple captains. And a sergeant. He's not liking this at all. And I'm going to go. So now he's bringing over this piece right here. This to me is looking like the spy. And he's trying to bring it over to help defend and keep this marshal for doing more damage. But he's going to move another piece. Now, I like the fact that he moved this back row piece because I was thinking this could be a tripod here. Starting at C, this could be a bomb. But because he moved it, I'm like, this doesn't, it feels like his flag is on the other side of the board. So I am just going to go with my gut and take. And yep, he's moving over there. And I just go, you know what? I'm going to commit to my read that his flag is in the opposite corner, and these are just all takeable pieces. Now, if we're looking at the setup here, This where my cursor is could be another tripod, right? Or it's still in the corner. Well, it couldn't be a tripod because I know 3 bombs, and I'm thinking this front run is a bomb here. So if I'm incorrect on this front row piece, which I don't think I am, but if I was incorrect, this could be the tripod. Let's keep going. Now he moves it, so it's no longer on my radar, and I'm fully committed that he has put his piece. And look at this. So it's definitely a corner flag, and I feel very confident that I can continue this assault. Let's keep going. So he's trying to be, now there goes the spy, and I'm just all over it, so I know that I'm just going to be able to take, and he's not going to move on to it. And now I have to be careful. I don't want to pinch myself off, and now he's deciding to come down with the colonel. And I'm just going to run and not let him 2-square me. Now it is kind of stuck over there, but I just bring this over, and he's like, no, he doesn't want to see that come down because he knows my major can come down and cause some very big problems for his spy and some of those other moved pieces. So I got to bring it back just to be safe. And now I'm activating my other colonel because I might need to get that down. And that's a trapped major, but I have done so much damage to him, and I'm up in the material in such a capacity that even if he takes it, I feel very confident that I can win this game. He's kind of in a bad trouble. He has no idea where my flag is. It's on the opposite side of the board. And he could come down and start to lotto, which I expected him to do, and just clear out my back row. But I'm going to keep the pressure on and not give him an inch to breathe. He's going to move around and play the safe. And now I'm coming up with this minor. And he's got to move. That. Now that tells me, the fact that he moved it away from my minor, I know that's his spy. So I can just move over freely. And I'm going to take. And I pick up another captain. And he's out of captains. And this is looking very bad for him. So I'm going to hit that. Now I know. I'm like, this is a corner flag. There's no question. And I can do a lot more damage. Now, I wanted to be sure. I didn't want to do anything too stupid. So I think right now is the right time to activate that. And this makes me realize, yeah, my corner flag prediction read is correct. Now I want to play the exchange game. I want to get rid of his marshal. Because I can utilize the pieces that I have left to just completely take this over. So I'm going to chase this marshal down, force him to make a decision, and he's going to go straight down and right into a bomb. This game is over. Now, he could have come straight down, which I would have done with this colonel, made a beeline down and just start taking pieces. If you have any chance to get to the back row in a losing position and go, do it. You're wasting your opportunity. He could have got there. He could have started taking pieces, but he didn't. He quits right there. So that's another important piece of advice. People, if you're in a losing position and you can get something down and start taking, do it. Your last ditch effort might get to the flag. I've won so many games where I've lost every opportunity with my major pieces, but I just weaseled down my last remaining high piece. And sometimes their flag is open and you can just go right to it. And if you don't do it, you're not giving yourself every opportunity to win. So that's another solid piece of advice. So moral of this game is, if you discover bombs, make a read. Start to take pieces. Go for it. Trust yourself. You know, there's nothing that scares a high-ranking player than a player who commits with conviction to their read. Because if you're just not buying it, and sure, you're going to lose. You're not always going to be right. Stratego is that type of game. There is no 100% win percentage. On any given day, a lower ranked player can beat the best in the world, and it does happen. And it is what it is. But good skill, good tactics, and strategy are going to win most of the time. So hopefully this video gives you a little insight on how to penetrate and take advantage of known bombs, and maybe you'll get that victory against that high-ranking player. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Get over to play.stratego.com, open up an account, get one of the subscriptions. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of fun features on there, and I hope I see you there, and I hope to beat you there too. Bye now.